Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your October 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Scorpio. Yes, I've been away. I know, it sucks, but you can stay up to date with the rest of my content if you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. Check out my newsletter. The link is in the description box below. And yeah, you should follow me on there. You get a reading every single Sunday. They're amazing. Okay. Anywho, let's have some fun today. Let's keep it lighthearted, shall we? See what October has in store. Please keep in mind, this is not a life or death situation. We're talking about cards here. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna lay this out and we will get started. Okay, so just so you know what this layout is, this is just a plain garden variety Celtic cross. I have just rearranged it so all of the cards fit on the table. But let's start with your oracle cards. First thing we have, bless the people you feel envious of. Okay, so envy and jealousy, I know they're kind of like, I guess we could call them taboo feelings because they get a bad rap. I don't think that jealousy and envy are inherently bad or an indication of anything bad per se. Sometimes it's an indication of you tapping into what you want, what you desire, what is really right for you. It's a metric that you can use to really see what you're wanting more of. And I don't think that that's bad. Now, if you let jealousy or envy get in the driver's seat and drive you around all day, then you're gonna run into problems. But if it's just a passing experience that you can observe within yourself, it's not gonna ruin your life. So treat envy or jealousy or any of those experiences of craving something that someone else has or someone else is experiencing, treat it as just a measurement, just a form of checking in and seeing what you want more of yourself. And then we also have knowledge, seek knowledge. I think there's part of me that's getting this hit, like joining a class or like just reading more books or seeking out more information, but there's something very studious about this, and I think it's very active, like it's requiring your participation, or could even be something like just having a hobby or wanting to learn more about yourself or learn more about trauma or learn more about blah, blah, blah. I mean, it could be anything. So just kind of go into it with a student mind and see where that takes you. And then we have alignment, explore energy first, matter will follow, find the spine, yours are the one in the situation, address the source, and everything will fall into place. So matter to matter is pretty limited, but when you focus on energy, that's where the matter can really click into place. So it can take some time for that to materialize, but alignment is key. So let your surroundings come to you and fall where you want them to fall, but you have to hold the energy first. Okay, the central energy for you in October is the King of Cups. Ooh, okay. Is this a King of Cups in your space? Is this you mastering your own emotions? Is this... I'm getting that this is a deep focus on the internal world, the emotional world. But I think for some of you, this is going to be a person. It just came up as a person. And I want to be clear, I'm not one of those who's like, oh, it's going to be a water sign male. No, not at all. This is a character, right, in your life. Someone who's in your life, a being who really has a high threshold for intimacy, emotions. It's all of that stuff, those characteristics, those traits. It's not about water placements or a water sun specifically. And then we have the Two of Wands. This is plans, a roadmap, sculpting things out, looking ahead into the future and just claiming, you know, this is what I'm creating, this is what I want. And so I think you're aligning with your future plans. You're lining everything up. You're studying perhaps the parts of yourself, the versions of yourself that you want to see more of, that you need to get in alignment with in order to create the things that you desire and really master the emotions or call in that King of Cups, or maybe he's already here. You know, the King of Cups could already be here. So that'll be interesting to see how that manifests for you. What you have shifting out is the Two of Swords. This is being blind. So if you have felt like you've been moving through however long, like you don't know how this is going to play out or what's going to happen or what the deal is with this situation, I think that's coming to a close, and now you're actually able to see what you're creating, right? Because it is really hard, and it is a test of faith when you're totally blind and aren't able to see or gauge what's happening. And maybe you felt this way a lot in September or like however long. And so now you're starting to see things come together, or things are making more sense. So you're able to hold your emotional state in a way that's aligned. And I think that you're starting to see things really click into place and just make more sense. So you're able to project outward what you desire rather than just feeling panic around not being able to see. And the Two of Swords, to a certain extent, is kind of always true, right? We can't totally see behind the veil at any point in time, but this is more about being confident in what you're creating rather than feeling like you're just throwing a Hail Mary. And then the oncoming energy for you, ooh, 10 of Pentacles, what? Okay, so I love the dogs in this too. Love it. So this is about your legacy, the long-term, big picture, the big moves, the big decisions, the big plans, the long-term experience. So something really significant is happening in October. This is exciting stuff. I love seeing this for you. And it just looks like this is building, and you're creating a foundation that is going to last a lifetime. Like, that is the brick that's being laid here. But alignment is key. So go back to the energy that you're holding, right? If you're like thinking that I'm full of it right now, or that there's no way that could happen, then you need to focus on the alignment. You need to do some studying on that. You need to, you know, work on envy, jealousy, whatever the case may be, and go back to, if this was ultimately true for me, what energy would I be circulating internally? Don't be afraid of big plans this month. Don't be afraid of like lofty goals. Don't be afraid of deep desires. It's like you want to double down on all of that. Let's see how it's looking externally, like with the outward manifestation of it. 7 of Pentacles. So there's many different moving parts that show up in the month of October. So be aware of that. You might have a bunch of different projects or things that are pulling your energy. And I mean, you're giving it by choice, but just understand that there's a lot of things going on in October. This looks very busy for you. This is a very, very busy, active month. I think you're going to feel a sense of fullness in the month of October that's going to be really satisfying. It probably has not been feeling that way for some time, especially because the Two of Wands can feel kind of dormant when you're in it. And so the 7 of Pentacles coming up as the outward manifestation just tells me that it's a very active month. And then in the subconscious, we have the 3 of Pentacles as it should be, because alignment is on the table. So enjoy the 3 of Pentacles. This is putting you in a position to address the subconscious mind, the mental body, the things that you've been wanting to work on, and also what you've been meaning to implement in real time. To clarify this, we have the 6 of Wands. This is where success is going to come from, is getting the mind right. You know, I'm big on that. I preach about that constantly, as far as make sure you're mastering the mind. That's an important practice to have. And so this looks like a kick-ass month, seriously. But the alignment card, it's energetic and mental. If you're getting fully in alignment, you can think about it in in terms of thoughts, words, and actions, are those things in sync? Because you can think something but not act from that space, and there's going to be a disconnect there. That's being out of alignment. Or you can say something and not do it, or not think it, or not feel it, and that's also a disconnect in your alignment. So as you're building and planning and sculpting out and taking action and responding to the things in your environment, focusing on what is the legacy that I'm creating, what is my long-term goal, that is where limiting beliefs, you know, little hiccups or whatever comes up environmentally or materially, that's what needs to be worked through and neutralized so that you can get everything in alignment. And trusting that if this is what you're in alignment for and what you're in alignment with, it's not going to miss you and you're not going to miss it. It's something that will ultimately come together. Now, the advice for you is the 10 of Swords. So this is about letting, how do I put this? Letting limitations die, the old identity, you know, because this is saying this is what you need to do. You need to actively release and let go and shed your skin. This is an active process. It's not something that is being forced upon you. This isn't in the external influence position, right? This is the advice. Like, hey, here's the suggestion. So to clarify, we have the Queen of Coins. Get back to stability, anchor into what makes you feel good, what makes you feel grounded, what are the practices that really support you in doing all of that, and release the rest. You know, release the critical minded internal voice that's there, and that's what takes effort and application, being really intentional with that. But if you're letting go of the chaos of what if all these bad things happen, you're actually creating space for this Queen of Coins, which is, you know, carrying you into this space. The external influences, we have the Page of Swords, doing things in a fresh, innovative way. I think this could be someone who's in your space, or there's just a lot of new experiences to be had based on whatever your environment is kind of setting up for you. So this looks really exciting. The Page of Swords is just like giving you an opportunity to go after it, try something new, do something different, be all of that. And then in the hopes and fears position, we have the 7 of Cups. I think you might be a little bit nervous about where to put your energy. Like, which pocket is going to be the best place for me to put my time, energy, and resources? And again, it has to do with the 7 of Pentacles, because you have a lot of things coming into your environment that are kind of begging for your attention. And the 7 of Cups is, where do you put the energy? What do you choose? What do you decide? And so you're ultimately in charge of that. But keep in mind, some things might need to go on the back burner, some things you might need to triple down on, and there's no right or wrong answer to it. It's a matter of what's the long-term vision, what feels right moment by moment. And so don't fear this, just kind of go with it, flow with it, and know that, you know, you can just safely assume you're not going to screw anything up, you're not going to miss anything, because alignment is the actual name of the game. And then the outcome of the month, Death. I see this as the rebirth card, right? Because we had the 10 of Swords in the position of advice. And so having the Death card here, it's like really cleaning out the pipes, like really stepping into the 10 of Pentacles version of you. And in order for that to happen, we all know that the old version, the wounded part that we operate from, essentially has to die and fall away. And I'm going to clarify this one too. 9 of Arrows, yes. So this has to do with the fears, right? I'm afraid of blah, blah, blah. I'm afraid of getting here. I'm afraid of not getting here. I'm afraid, or I'm afraid of screwing it up or losing it, or any number of things. And so that is what's dying. So that just confirms my point in that when you're able to release this, you know, the Ten of Swords applying to this Nine of Arrows, which is the Nine of Swords. It's like the mental nightmare that you've created doesn't have a hold on you the way it has before. And so the Ten of Pentacles ultimately becomes very, very available to you. Now let's do a 3-card pick. So you're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, support, whatever you need. Okay, card number 1. If you need more time, pause the video. We have Six of Pentacles, reciprocity. You get what you give. So you need to look at where is there a discrepancy between what you're giving and receiving, or are you withholding too much? Are you giving too much? Take some inventory around what you're giving to the situation and what you're getting out of it. And I want to be clear, that doesn't necessarily mean that a top-heavy investment isn't required. That is true. Like, let's say you were investing in learning a new skill because you wanted to make a career out of it. If what you're getting out of it is joy and excitement and pleasure and play and all of that, then it's worth it, right? So you just have to evaluate what that really is for you. Card number 2, we have the Fool. Leap, jump, take the risk, make it happen. You know, embrace this. And it's safe for you to leap. It's safe for you to jump. It's absolutely okay for you to do that. So that's literally it, is just do the damn thing. If you're getting a nudge to try something new, now is the time to do it. And then card number 3, we have the Nine of Wands. This is keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Do not stop. Do not give up. When this card comes up, I'm just getting a very like fierce energy of seeing it through and continuing to capitalize on the momentum that you have and what you've already built. And so this is not the time to throw in the towel. That would be a great detriment. So if you're feeling a little blue or like, should I just give up on this? I would not listen to that, but instead tune in with your intuition and really ask yourself, like, what feels the best? When I feed myself, you know, the idea of me finishing this or seeing it through, how does that feel compared to how does it feel if I just throw in the towel, right? So the Nine of Wands is really pushing you to continue and to proceed. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. If you would like to know which decks I use, they are listed in the description box. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. Take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Make sure you leave a comment and a thumbs up if you feel called to. And sign up for my newsletter. Check me out on other social media platforms. And until next time, have a beautiful October, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.